We're talking to your guides and your angels. You see, life is a journey, and we never know what we're going to need. It's full of surprises. Perhaps you've had some surprises this 2021. I know I have. It's been an interesting time. But when we navigate life, we often have to ask ourselves the question, what am I going to need? What do I need to be prepared for? How do I handle some of life's obstacles? And how do I get the guidance from the divine? How do I know that I'm not alone? We're never alone, but we feel that way. There are times where we feel no one is there to help us. And we call our friends and maybe our family or maybe our coworkers, and we realize they just don't show up for us. Because after all, they've got their lives too. But as we navigate the changes in life and we really try to do our best, we need some help. And that's what your angels and your guides are here for, to give you help. Help. We need somebody. Not just anybody. We need our guides and our angels. You see, when I seek the opinion of a friend, I know they're going to give me their opinion based on life's experiences and how life has treated them. And no two experiences in the human experience are identical. So just because someone's opinion of what perhaps dating is like, or looking for a job may be, or perhaps a family matter, I may want to hear how they feel or what they think. But often your friends and your family, they cannot tell you what is best for you. They can only give you their observatory point of view from their life experience or that which they heard from another. And that's secondhand information, sometimes third party. Is it no wonder in a court of law, we're really not to admit hearsay, and a lot of what we get from other people is hearsay. We're hearing what they have to say, and sometimes it's not that good, because they don't understand who you are. They don't know your journey. They don't know that some of the obstacles in your life are really designed to set you back for your comeback. It's really designed for you to step into the essence of who you are and discover the strength, the courage, the resilience, the reliability, the responsibility of who you are and what you've come to do in this lifetime. For some of us, life is simple, and we know many of those people. They seem to have this carefree life. But is it really that way? Or is it just that they don't talk about everything that's going wrong? You know, we've got those kind of friends, the ones that are always like, well, this is what happened today, and oh my God, and everything's drama. Do you know some of those people? I could tell you stories. Well, I guess I could, because I sit across people every day helping you navigate your drama. And sometimes we can realize that we've done some of it to ourselves. But there are other things that are dramatic that we really couldn't see coming. And then how do you handle it? How do you overcome the obstacles or the curves in the road when you're really not prepared? We have to seek assistance. And that assistance is there always. It comes in the form of your guides and your angels. You see, we all have angels. And we all have a guardian angel. And then we've got a whole host of angels. I can assure you, my angels, they're really tired. I keep them on their toes. And some of you have angels that are just sitting there going, I don't know. I think they know I'm here. I don't know. Should we get their attention? What do you think? And the angels are having a meeting saying, we really don't have much to do with this one. They're just going to tough it out and figure it out and really try to make everything happen and push when all they have to do is ask for assistance. Your angels know the outcome, and they know the struggles that you have. You know that story, nobody knows the troubles I've seen. Well, we all have one of those stories, but your angels and your guides understand the reason, the meaning, the openings that come from that, well, snafu in life. And then we have our guides. Your guides, they were once human, so they get it. They know what it was like to be in this physical embodiment and go through some of life's challenges, financial, emotional, betrayal, personal relationships, maybe drama, whatever it is, sorrow, they've experienced it. And their job is to assist you in navigating those emotional experiences so that you, deep in your heart, recognize the fact that love still exists and you're a powerful being, even though things are going on around you that may cause you a little bit of uncomfortability or perhaps a little bit of drama. And every guide that's with you has been with you before. We've got this whole crew of guides that kind of cycle around all of us. Now you may ask, how many guides do I have? Well, that varies from person to person, but we don't just have one or two guides. They would be exhausted. We have several guides, and I want you to think of guides almost like heads of department stores. You know, you've got shoes, you've got clothes, you've got lingerie, you've got men's, we've got housewares, we've got children's, we've got accessories, we've got it all, right? Well, you have guides that cover it all. So if in this lifetime you're meant to master some scholastic studies that maybe far exceed where you think you're capable of going, you have a guide to assist you with that. That's their area of expertise. They're the ones that prompt you to study more or take an extra class or just pop the answer in your head. Lord knows that's how I got through a lot of my tests in school, especially college. I was so busy in the practice room singing when it came to the application stuff. I just had to sit there and go, I hope I know the answer, because I was into performing. But you still have to take all the other classes. So no matter where you are in your journey, you have a guide to assist you. And you have guides that have been a part of your family for generations. They are around us, here to help us. But rarely do we humans, unless you're on your spiritual metaphysical journey, your awakening, and more of you have joined us since 2012, well, each one of you has an opportunity to talk to your guides. And essentially, you just have to ask. That easy, you say? Yes, it is. You've just got to ask them for assistance and tell them that you want evidence. You need to know that you've made the connection because you're a little uncertain as to how they may communicate with you. Now, I have some of my clients who, well, they hear their guides like an outside voice. And I'm sure if we sat in a shrink's office, they'd be like, okay, you need meds. But we know that our guides can communicate with us in so many different ways. It could be in a sign. It could be something simple. It could be something that's just a song that represents what you were thinking. Or maybe a big billboard that has a message that was exactly what you needed to see. And your guides gave you the prompting, the nudge to look up and see it. They've done that to me quite a bit of times. And they show me the billboard, and it's like, okay, we're going to get special with you because you obviously aren't paying attention, SarahSpiritual. So let's put it in the big print for the little girl to see. You see, they're here to help us and have fun. Never, ever your guides and your angels sitting there judging you like our human friends might. Your guides and angels are saying, well, the best choice, the easier choice for them would be for them to make the choice to the right. But if they make the choice to the left, we're not judging them. We're just going to help them navigate and reroute themselves to get to where they need to go. All of this is based on a master plan that does include a bit of your free will. Your free will to choose just how the experience plays out. But I've come to realize that many experiences, they are pre-planned. There is something in your soul contract that says you're going to meet individuals, maybe not the exact person you meet, but an individual that represents those qualities and characteristics so that you could learn from that experience or grow to form a relationship with that person. And believe it or not, even in your astrological chart, you can see, yes, indeed, who's supposed to be your mom or your dad. It just all kind of shows you what the lessons are and who you're going to need to grow with and what some of life's challenges are. So if it's already written in the stars, as my friend Stacey Haller would say, my friend the astrologer, can you imagine that all of this is written in the stars and the angels have got the memo? So we're not alone. And you may say, but what about my loved ones? You know, I was so blessed to talk to someone earlier today, and she and I were talking about her dad, who unfortunately passed in March. And she was waiting and wondering, when am I going to know if he's okay? And then sure enough, he appeared with her granddad. And it wasn't even his father, it was her mother's father. And it just showed her that they were in the same energy of the same soul family and that they both were looking out for her. And it appeared in a dream. So we will get our signs from our loved ones, from our guides. My guides take me on trips. They take me to hotels and elevators and numbers, and they take me to all different places just so that I could know what's coming up next. But I have my favorite dream, and it really wasn't a very good outcome when I look at the fact that it was a complicated outcome. But my favorite dream is a dream where Archangel Michael came to me. You see, in my dream, I was just kind of chilling, and I got called into a room where there were a bunch of people, and everyone's back was against the wall, and we were in a big square. And I want to pause this story and just let you know that earlier that day, I was talking to my son, who at the time was a teenager, and some of his other teenage friends, and they said they were going to be making cookies. So let me continue with the story. So as I am in this room, I'm beginning in my dream to ask people, why am I here? And what I imagined were some of my guides. They were like, shh, shh, quiet, quiet. Well, you can't silence SarahSpiritual. I was like, what? Why do I got to be quiet? What is going on? Is this a court matter, a legal matter? Why am I in this waiting room? And the guy next to me very sternly said, shh. Well, shut me up for just a minute. And seconds later in the dream, these big doors opened, and they must have been 15 feet tall, huge doors. And as these big doors opened, two gentlemen who were equally tall came in the room. And they had a book in their hand. And interestingly enough, one had one side of the book in one hand, and the other had their palm on the other side of the book. And they were hovering over the book. So, of course, you know, little SarahSpiritual in her dream, she turns to the guy and said, okay, what's going on? And again, the gentleman says, please be quiet. Shh. And so just as I was getting ready to stand up in front of these very tall men in the dream, they nodded to each other. They pointed to the book. And as they looked at the book, they then turned, and they turned to the gentleman, and they said, she can go. And so the gentleman turned to me and said, you can go now. And I said, go now? Why was I here? And just as I said, why was I here? And I stood up to ask some more questions. Right behind those two very tall gentlemen, hovering above them, was Archangel Michael. And then the dream ended. Now, mind you, I found that as a very strange dream, wouldn't you? So I really didn't know what that dream meant. But now I have to fast forward. Fast forward to that conversation of the young kids getting ready to make chocolate chip cookies. Well, unbeknownst to me, while I was walking the dogs, one of the other teenagers said, I'll get the car. We don't have what we need for the chocolate chip cookies. And they went off to our local market, Publix. And as they drove down a very local street, for some reason, this girl, I don't know why, she thought that because she could make a left and had a green light, I don't know why she didn't realize the other cars had the right of way too. And so just as she was turning, the car got hit. Now, before they all got in the car, my son said, I call shotgun. And the young girl who was seated behind him had said, no, I call shotgun. And he said, no, I'm going to sit in the passenger seat. Well, lucky for her, he did, because that was the seat that got hit directly by the car. And everything was smashed in, even smashed my son's phone. So now you're sitting there thinking, oh my goodness. But everybody ended up being all right. The girl in the back seat, had she been in the passenger seat, I can assure you she probably wouldn't be here today. But what happened was she got a cut. So they did airlift her and ended up being fine. But the person who took the brunt of the impact was my son. Now, the firemen, the police, they were looking to see who was the individual, expecting to see them all bandaged up and bruised up. But nope, he was perfectly fine, just a cracked phone. And you know, to a teenager, a cracked iPhone was the horrible part of it all. But in the end, I realize now, looking back, that they were showing me in the dream that my guides and my angels, they were looking out for me. And that book that they had, that was the book of life. That was the book of life that determined whether my son was going to live, die, or get hurt. And apparently, Archangel Michael stepped in and said, oh no, this isn't going to happen. So that was the premonition, not knowing where it was going to apply, but just knowing that my angels and my guides are watching over me and my family too, just like they're watching over your families. We're never really alone, and they know long before it's about to happen what's going to happen. And based on, well, how you choose to live your life and how you live in gratitude and how you choose to express from your heart your truth and be truthful and be loving and choose the energy that is going to support your spiritual growth and assist others on their path in whatever way is your journey. Of course, they will always do whatever they can to show favor upon you. There are some things, unfortunately, that cannot be bypassed, and we as humans see and hear of it every day. But you're never alone. Your guides and your angels are always prompting you, and they want you to know that they have your back. And your loved ones, they may not always be able to jump in and help you, and they can never be an angel because they've had the human embodiment. That's not their role in this journey of planet Earth. But I will say this, they hold the space of light and love so that you and your family will be fine, and that they are aware, no matter where they are, just how much you miss them, and they send you love every moment.